Hey guys, welcome back to Whimsy Craft, episode 4. I can't believe it's been this long. It's like, what, 4 months? 5 months? That's almost half a year. How did this happen? Well, I've been quite busy in real life with uni and everything, moving to a different country. It has been a busy life, but I finally have some time to edit an episode, and I'm so excited. Although, me being absent for so long didn't mean I didn't play on the server, I just couldn't really edit at all. But those few snippets of time that I did have and use on the server, as you can see behind me, there's an example of that. If you caught me on stream, you know what that is. In general, I've worked on a few things. Let's do a little montage to see what I've been up to. I've made a automatic melon and pumpkin farm, an automatic mushroom farm, an automatic wool farm because I actually started a wool shop in the shopping district. I've also built a massive sorting system, which finally helped me get rid of my stupid chest monsters. And I also finally cleaned up this entire area, and it is so clean. Just look at this. Look at this place. There's like nothing here. It's so amazing. It's a clean slate, perfect for building, and I can't wait to fill it up with a bunch of cute buildings. Oh, and I almost forgot one little thing, which I ended the last episode with, was I was saying that I would landscape a bit of this house over here. And as you can see, I did end up doing that. I worked quite a bit on landscaping and gardening, and it just, oh my god, it just looks fantastic. Just look at this place. Gave the island a bit more natural look, and I added a bunch of different types of vegetation. So it is really wonderful looking. Even more zen than it was before, in my opinion. If you want to skip ahead to the main part of the video, you can go to this timestamp, but otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and explain a bit about how I did the landscaping at this build. I mainly wanted to do like different patches of different types of flowers and like plants, as you can see. So what I did, for example, over here, I kind of wanted to create a bush or like a growth of flowers, something like that is more red the more closer you get to the center. So that's why I used these different shades of red, slowly going out, ending with the buttons and starting with these nether wart and the soul sand to create this kind of mild gradient. I added some cattails using glass panes and candles. You know, some sugarcane to make it look a bit more natural, obviously using string at the top to prevent it from growing any further. And to texture the sand at the beaches, I used some pressure plates and also planks. And really, I just kind of messed around with the different block palettes. Like over here, I use mossy stones, and here I use like a more of a darker palette. And I mean, I just love how it turned out. It looks really natural, and I mean, in my opinion, if you have a build and you don't like landscape around it, it won't fit into the rest of the world as well as it could if you did landscape. I love this little part over here especially. My only issue is that, well, first of all, there's no interior yet. We're gonna do that later. Not today, maybe a bit later. And it is quite annoying to get to my sorting system from over here. Like, I have to go over up in here and just jump up down here and everything. We need to sort that out later. But speaking about the sorting system, let me show you the sorting system. It is an absolute marvel of engineering. It is crazy. It is just insane. I have no idea how it works, okay? This is a design from Rapscallion, part of his MIS design, which is basically a store system that works based on minecarts. It's a very complex thing. I broke it like already 10 times, but it is very, very reliable once I fixed all the kinks in it. And I also added a little chunk loader so that when it's sorting, I can leave and it doesn't break everything. But otherwise, it is 8 times hopper speed, so everything gets sorted super quickly. And I have categories for every wood type, every different type of functional blocks. We have the stones and the deep slate and everything. It's all here. But for the interior, I wanted to go for kind of an old temple vibe, because that's what I'm going to do from the outside. I'm going to turn this into a large Japanese temple when I have the time, but right now I was focusing on just the interior, and I thought, oh, I've been to those temples, and almost all the time they use really dark wood inside, so I was thinking, what if this one was so old it's like starting to get really decrepit, it had to be repaired. So that's what those splotches of bamboo are. Those are the newly repaired pieces, and the spruce are like repaired pieces, but way older, and the dark oak wood is like the original kind of roof you could imagine. And I also used banners over here, the backside of banners, to create this kind of Japanese window look. I'll put one on screen right now, what I mean. Otherwise, I used mangrove for trimming the different parts where there were pillars or the staircases over here, and then I used this green bamboo, moss, and terracotta, because green is on the opposite end of the color wheel to red, and it just fits in really nicely. But enough of color theory. Right now, we need to get working on the shop. That's what this title is all about, isn't it? I actually started a wool shop. It is quite bad, quite tiny, and everyone's complaining because everyone else is building shops and I'm the only one who doesn't have an actual proper big shop built. So I think we need to change that. I have a couple shulkers prepared over here and a bunch of materials with me. So I think what will be great is if we actually go to the site and launch into a time lapse. What do you say, guys? Let's go. And welcome back, welcome back. I hope you liked what I've been cooking up here. I like it a lot as well. Just please don't look around at the back. Oh, thank God somebody else already built here. But yeah, it is quite unfinished from the back. Yeah, and there is no interior yet, but I do have some pretty nice plans for that. Either way, I don't know if you've noticed, but I was going to a kind of, not exactly, but kind of similar style to my starter base. I want to build a bunch of these buildings back in my home base to cover up all those different farms. And it's kind of inspired by those Japanese row houses I saw when I was there on holiday. But obviously I added a bunch more color because those are all made out of brown wood and I wanted something much more colorful. So I added these kind of sections which are sectioned off with dark oak wood. There's a pink one, there's a green one, there's a red one, there's like a neutral one, orange, you know, all these different colors. Even added a little diamond block here. But I basically just sectioned the building off into different blocks and just added gradients to those. That's really all there is to it. Yeah, and I used my original sign. I actually had this set up on a flag before. Now I reuse it over here. And I'm so happy it actually ended up fitting on here. I did not plan that at all. I think I said this in my application video, but whenever I improvise, which this building was improvised and my starter base wasn't improvised because I planned that ahead, this one was completely improvised. And it looks so good. I love it. I might be doing improvisation even more. I'm sorry, you guys, that I had a time lapse instead of taking you through the building process, but we have a lot of that coming up in this video. But tell me if you like time lapses more or if you would like me to explain what I'm doing a bit more. So yeah, but I do have a bit of plans I want to talk about with you guys. So inside here, it's going to be a wool shop. Yes, sure. But it's not going to be an ordinary wool shop. That's because... Oh, there's a theater underneath my shop. Great. Good thing we don't need the underground. But what my shop is really going to be, it's partially going to be a wool shop, yes, but it's also going to be a plushie store. To those who don't know, Spaghet, who is the owner of this server, he actually has a concrete store. But people are not really interested in the concrete because it's technically a Lego store. So it has concrete as the building blocks and it also has minifigures. So people can basically put a diamond block in here and they get a minifigure, random minifigure. And there's different series that come out, like Halloween series, Christmas series, spooky creaking series, all these kind of things, right? So, and he gets so unbelievably rich. He's like the richest person because each person can buy maximum 8. That's 8 diamonds block per person times 22. Times 1 times a month. Do you understand how much money that is? I need to compensate for that. And I also want to get rich because I have only 3 stacks of diamonds, which isn't a lot in this inflated economy. Yeah. So my plan is to make a plushie store, which has kind of gambling in it, but not exactly, it's like disguised gambling. Let me show you what I mean. Let's head back to base. So, how my store is basically going to work is going to be that, unlike in most Minecraft stores, you're not going to take an item out of a chest and directly pay for it. Let me show you an example. So most stores, right, they have a chest. Let's say these chests over here. I have a bunch of shears in them. I'll explain later. But let's say I want to buy a shear. It's going to be like, oh, let's say 1 diamond per slot. So they exchange this and bada bing, bada boom, they paid. But that's not going to be how my store works. On the other hand, I'm going to have that people can take how many ever items and stacks of wool they want, but at the end, when they come out to the cash register, they have to pay the amount of diamonds as to how many stacks of wool they bought. And they're going to throw it into the cash register, and it's going to be basically paid for, right? But why am I doing this? Why am I not doing it the easier way? Well, that's because I need to keep track of how many diamonds are spent in the store so that I can create a loyalty program to make people want to visit my store even more and pay even more money for wool they don't even need. But how am I going to achieve that? Simple. So how I want this to work. I want it to work so that every 9th diamond spent in my store, doesn't matter who spent it, but every time there have been 9 diamonds spent in my store, whoever spent that 9th diamond is going to have a 100% chance to get a reward. So that's what this little mechanism is. In here is going to be the cash register where you put the diamonds, and down here is a crafter. This crafter waits until it's filled with 9 diamonds, and after that, it crafts a diamond block. So that means every 9th diamond creates a redstone pulse, right? And every time that pulse is triggered, this dropper triggers. This dropper has unstackable items and stackable items with a 5:4 ratio. So when it throws it out here, this hopper is going to be full, right? And this comparator will detect what item is inside. If it is a stackable item, it will output a signal strength of 1, which means it will only power this dropper. But if it's a shear, it'll be an unstackable item, so it'll output a signal strength of 3, which will reach to this this dropper and this dropper as well. Meaning every time you get a 9th diamond, there's a 50% chance you get a reward activated with the max reward, and a 50% chance you get only 1 reward. But that means every time you pay a 9th diamond, you will 100% get a reward. So what are these rewards? So if you get a stackable item, you're going to get a iron nugget, and this represents a coupon to buy any amount of wool in the store, and this coupon, right, means you can buy a stack of wool for free. Or you could be lucky and you get the coupon and you get a golden nugget, and golden nuggets are representative of tokens, specifically plushie tokens. And what these are going to be doing is they're going to be these kind of like coins. You can go into the 2nd floor of my store and you'll be able to input them into a little wheel of fortune. There's going to be a bunch of plushies up on the wall, and when you put your token in, it's going to randomize which one you get, but you will definitely get a plushie if you have a token. You just don't know which one you're going to get, which is exactly how the mini Whimsies work, or the minifigures. Except that mine is technically twice as more expensive, because every time you put a 9th diamond in, that is a diamond block, is a 50% chance you're going to get a plushie token. But what's really cool about the system is you don't even have to pay 9 diamonds. Like, let's say this crafter is filled. There's 8 diamonds in here. Ooh, 8 diamonds, not 9. 8 diamonds in here, right? And let's say I only bought a single stack of wool for my store. So I'm gonna go, not for my store, but let's say I'm somebody else and I bought a single stack of wool. I'm gonna go to the cash register and I'm gonna input 1 single diamond. That, because it was the 9th diamond, it triggered the crafter to craft a diamond block. And that triggered this dropper, which triggered a reward to be activated. In this case, I got a coupon for a free stack of wool. But if I was really lucky, right, and I inputted the 9th diamond, like this time, let's have a look if it happens this time. Not again, right? But I can keep doing this, and over time, I'm guaranteed to also get a plushie token. It's like that, see? Just like that. It fills up, boom, only get this token. Then it crafts up. That's how I'll add a bit more diamonds. So it crafts the block up, the 9th diamond activates the system, and you get both. And next time you get just this one, see? So it's this kind of reward system where you don't exactly know what you're going to get. This is a very ominous zoom in. Why did I press that button? But I think this is a really great system because it incentivizes people to go to my store more, and they don't even have to buy wool. Like, they can just throw diamonds at that thing and they're gonna keep getting rewards. So like, it works for me both ways, you know? So yeah, that's what I want to set up at the store. And I think it's going to be a really cool thing to make myself more money and give people some really cute plushies. The second thing I want to set up is my wool system. So my wool kind of sorting, I don't really have a sorting system. It's a wool farm with sheep. I don't know if it's ethically, but they're literally just crammed into glass blocks and they're just existing here. How it works is basically that whenever a sheep eats this grass block, it updates this redstone torch like that, but it didn't update it this time because there's nothing happening in here. It would update the redstone torch, and it would start flickering 8 times, which would cause the dispenser to use shears on the sheep, and then the wool, since the sheep are inside a glass block, the wool will float up into this collection system and then be collected over in these chests. The problem is it's completely unsorted and it overflows way too quickly. So what I need to do here is stop sorting this nonsense manually and instead have a sorting system for every color so that I can actually just pick up shulker boxes of each color and just take them to the shopping district. You know, easy peasy. But what I also want to automate is the refilling of the shears, because I don't want to be crawling here like every 2 real life days putting this stuff in and then going out again. Nope. I want it to be all automated. So that's what this system over here is for, that I've been preparing. What this does is, you can see right here, there is a chest. It's completely filled with shears. Here is another hopper, and here is a barrel. Whenever this barrel gets even a little bit full, this crafting system stops. You can see there's a bunch of iron ingots over here, and it's basically an auto crafting system. But the auto crafting system gets frozen because this locker gets hopped. This hopper gets locked by this redstone dust when this barrel is full. Meaning, if, let's say some shears in the dispenser breaks, so there's like a chain of hoppers connecting to the dispensers. Let's say a few shears broke. As you can see, it starts crafting, and it stops crafting when it's full again. So you can see this thing is full again. If I do this, it'll keep crafting until it's full over here, and then it will stop crafting. And that's exactly what I want to set up. And that's exactly why I have so many shears in these, because I've been testing this for so many times, and I just have way too many shears in this. But yeah, that's what I want to build. But I think the first thing we want to do is set up the store and the interior so that it actually looks good inside. Hey there. I'm back here. I got a couple of materials, seemingly random things, but I think I have a pretty good idea of how I want my interior to look like. So let's see how we can get this to end up. So what I want to do first is create like this depressed kind of opening. Probably gonna do that with some slabs, because Japanese houses, again, they have like a space where you put your shoes and everything in the beginning. It's kind of lower than everything else, and then you step up a little bit to get into the main floor of the house. So that's what I'm gonna do right here. I want it to be kind of cozy, but also kind of industrial and like warehouse feelings. I don't know how those two things can like work together, but I'm gonna make it work somehow. What I do want to do, so when you enter right now, you're gonna be on this little port, and then over here there's gonna be like a concrete wall, just like that. These windows, I want them to stay functional, but I want this wall to go all the way up here. I would like this to look more like concrete, because, you know, concrete in real life has this kind of like, when it's imperfect, it has these imperfections, these like little bubbles in them. And that's exactly why I have coral. I'm using the coral because it looks kind of like sunken in stone, basically. That's what I'm trying to go for here. Okay, so this is looking pretty good. Now, what do we want to do next? I think next, I want to think of how we are going to route this. So I think I'm going to start this way. There's going to be elevators to the top floor over here. So we can kind of figure out the layout. Let's see here, like this. That means there's going to be walls here. Yeah, you turn around here, you can go outside if you want. And then there's going to be another wall here. So it's going to be like an L shape of walls. Yeah, something like this. And then the products will be on this kind of wall. So, and then there will be fence gates here, So you go in this way, you go in, you turn around, you go in, you go in, you go in, and then you can finally get out at the cash register. Perfection. Okay, I'm going to figure out the mechanism for the fence gates right now, so that I can show you guys what I meant. This is basically what I had in mind. Just imagine there's a block there. But yeah, you go in this way, and then you can't go out again. To go out, you have to go all the way around. Basically the store, and then like that, get out, right? I need to show you guys what I found. Oh my god, that's so nice. I figured out how to make a really nice pathway, like a decorated pathway, using glazed terracotta and resin, actually, and wool. Let me show you. I'm gonna use some cyan wool as well. This is kind of what the pathway is gonna look like. And I need to buy the resin. 2 diamonds per slot. You got yourself a deal. You see what I'm seeing? It's kind of that it's really orange, then it gets a bit less orange, then it's just blue. And then it will just repeat this while you're going there. I think it's a really nice idea. Okay, so I've actually replaced this. I think it looks better if it's randomly placed, just like this. Because I can also add some nice variation to the texture using some concrete powder. And it actually makes more sense because I want this to look kind of like spilled dye, I was thinking. So this makes way more sense if it's just looks like this. It's kind of like I'm working on making the wool the color it needs to be, and then I work here a lot, so that's also why it's kind of a warehousey vibe. But I also fill a bunch of shelves up with like homely things and stuff, which is why it looks and feels like home, but it's also kind of warehousey. That's kind of the story I want there to be behind this. So like a little DIY kind of wool store. That's also like an old warehouse I bought out or something. It's gonna be so good. I love how it's coming together so far. I thought I would add a little like kiosk thingy majiggy here. So I'm gonna put a sign here that says like, oh, free something with every purchase. Maybe it'll be free shears with every purchase. Oh, free banners with every purchase. You know, that kind of stuff. And yeah, and it's supposed to feel kind of cramped on purpose. It's supposed to be feel like everything's all over the place and it's kind of messy, but also kind of not. But overall, it's working out pretty good. But I think now we can hop into a little time lapse, and I'll see you guys when I'm finished. Welcome back, everybody. It has been so long, I literally have netherite armor. How has this happened? Well, after the time lapses, I didn't really finish the top part of the building, and I was kind of procrastinating that. So on stream, we went out and we got netherite, and we got a bunch of other things, and our tools are upgraded. Everything's upgraded. We even got a mace. We did a bunch of productive stuff, except do the shop. So after that, I finally finished the store inside and out. It is 100% done. So now I can finally show you guys. So let's have a look inside. Alrighty, welcome to the wonderful wool store. It is way more cluttered than when I was sewing it last time, and I love how it looks. It is wonderful. The first thing you'll see when you get in is this little lectern here. That's basically a little introduction that explains how the whole thing works for people who have never been here before. Yes, there's 2 signs. Please read it. Please read it. Please. But yeah, we have a little bit of a spore blossom action that is going to, well, it basically fills up ambience. And I used the hanging signs to create these kind of rolling carpets. I wanted to look like there's carpets hanging from the ceiling. And, well, I don't know if it kind of looks like it, but at least it adds a pop of color, right? So back here, I added the elevators. And I also added this thing over here, which is supposed to be like my wool rack where I'm drying my freshly dyed wool. And down here, I saw a video from B-Dubs where he used bamboo in a dye store to create kind of little cubbies where you would put your little glass vials of dye in there. So that's what I'm doing over here. And up here, yep, these are also supposed to be like little bottles of dye instead of actual books. And the really smart thing here is that these signs actually prevent the water from spilling out. So it looks really cool like that. And the ladders, of course, as well. And down here, the resin does that. So it's a really cool effect over here. And before I show you the upstairs, let me show you the rest of it. We added a bit more paintings. I finished the back garden. This is supposed to be like a tree that's been cut off, but ages ago it grew through the fence over here, so that's why it's stuck here. And then I added these corals up here as like rusted barbed wire that has transformed into all sorts of colorful barbed wire. For some reason, I don't know why, it just looks cute. And yeah, that's our back garden. And then once somebody builds a building on this side, it'll be fully enclosed. All right. Here's an ender chest because all stores need to have an ender chest, of course. And we added some paintings. I added these little arches, as you saw in the time lapses, which are really pretty. And I just added some clutter and junk up on them as well to mess it up a bit, make it a bit more alive. And yeah, a bunch of cool stuff happening. And now I can show you the upstairs. Let's have a look here. All right, booyah. So this is the Wheel of Fortune. It doesn't actually work, it just looks pretty, but I really love how it looks right now. And I'm going to probably be putting the plushies on these blocks here and invisible item frames. Up here is a chicken, but there's also this area which is supposed to be like that I'm working here. And I made it a slab lower so that it looks like I'm sitting down, and it look very short. Accurate to real life, maybe not. And yeah, that's what I did here. A little bookshelf, a little machine that's supposed to be like dripping color onto this thing that makes dyed fabric. I don't know what is happening here. I did use God damn it. I did use the CMYK thing over here, which is what printers use to color paper. And yeah, it's supposed to be like a machine that's like tenderizing, not tenderizing, it's weaving the yarn together essentially. That's what's happening up here. But up here is also the redstone functionality, and it's also downstairs. So let me first show the redstone down underneath everything. So, as you probably noticed, there is a brand new thing over here, which is the payment. How it works, I don't have, hold on, let me just get some diamonds out. I also set up a little bit of a filter here. That essentially, if you put anything in that isn't diamonds, it gives it back to you. But how does that work? Look at this. Booyah. The items fly up, and then they get dispensed over here from that trapdoor. Isn't that epic? The items just like get flinged around the store. It is so cool. Oh my god. Anyways, so if I pay, all right, I'm gonna put 9 diamonds into this thing. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Give it a second. Give it a second. I hear the clicking. Oh, what was that? Would you look at that? We got a reward. It's a yearning for yarn temporary coupon for 1 stack of wool. Woo! Let's go. Also, yes, I don't have the textures yet, but I can put them on screen right now. This is what the coupon's gonna look like. This is what the token for the plushies is gonna look like. Big thanks to Lorikit for making these for me. Thank you so much. They look amazing. And this is a sneak peek on some of the plushies I've prepared. Thank you so much to Apple Salt for designing these. They are super cute. Right, so we got a reward from that, and it only cost us 9 diamonds. Isn't that amazing? But now, let me show you how this redstone works from behind the scenes. It's a mess. Let me show you a little bit about how it was made. Cue the flashback.
Let's get started on this Minecraft build today, guys. Wait, did you just scream EDP?
Thank you so much for Duckies for working on this project with me. It was horrible. But in the beginning, we actually figured out a really cool mechanic which changed the entire way we were going to distribute the rewards. Just watch.
Is it not?
There we go.
There you go. Do you want to do the honors? Click.
Wait. Holy shit!
Oh my god.
Oh my god!
That's such like a smart
and it's so clean too. For the end of this sequence of part of the video, what do you want to say, Duckies?
I want to cry.
I want to cry as well. I hated this so much, but it's done. Yeah, it was horrible. It was 4 hours, 4 horrible hours of making this thing work. But I mean, at least it works now, you know. It's tragic. It's a horrible mess. I'm not gonna try fixing it, but it works. Alrighty. How does it work though? Simple. No, that was the wrong key. So over here, there is a item filter. So essentially what happens is that the diamonds get taken up by the minecart, which get taken up into this item filter. If it's a diamond, then it essentially goes down here into these crafters, gets crafted up into a diamond block. And when that happens, this dropper is activated, like I showed you in the beginning of this video. Then, based on the signal strength here, it outputs either a golden reward or just the normal reward, so either a token or a coupon, and then goes into this dispenser over here. This dispenser, when it gets anything inside of it, turns on this comparator, which turns on this piston, which connects this circuit. And this circuit is connected to this redstone clock, which pulses it every like 1 or 2 seconds. When that connects, this sends a pulse into the dispenser, into the dropper, which spits it out here and gets flung this way. The observer notices an item passing over this pressure plate, so it activates this system, which essentially first pulls back this block of wool and shoots this up into the sky, up here, onto this water, and then it travels all the way over here, and it activates an observer, and it falls back down again. And that's where you can collect it. So that's how that part works. And now let me show you of how these beautiful tokens, which are gonna have replacement, they look pretty bad. I'm gonna replace them with a different texture that I showed you earlier, but yeah, that's what we have right now. Let me show you how it looks. All right, now listen carefully if you can identify what's going on here. And no reward was given to me because there's no rewards. Yeah, beautiful tune, isn't it? Get rickrolled, baby! Anyways, I snuck this little barrel in here, which is supposed to be the refill barrel. So, I don't know. I'm just gonna put the white dye in here as a reward. And now, when I put the plushie token in here. Those would be normally plushies, but now I'll get the white dye instead. There we go, just like that. And to show you how it works, well, you go up over here. It's a little sneaky door I put here, and it's a mess as well, but it's way more compact and makes way more sense because, well, over here you have an item filter for the tokens, which gets essentially, well, the token gets flashed into this dispenser, and then that gets triggered when it identifies there's an item in there. So then that pushes out over here, it falls down, gets collected by a hopper, and goes back into the, well, into the reward distribution system. And up here, whenever that happens, a pulse is sent into the music. Yeah, and that just circles around here until it finishes. Yeah, that's it. That's the store. It took forever to build, but it's finally done, and I'm really happy. And I'm excited to get those textures implemented soon as well. Oh my god, yes, and I almost forgot. Earlier in the video, I was talking about... Oh, wait, I should actually return these tokens probably first. Earlier in this video, I was talking a bit about how I was going to automate the wool farm, so I did actually do that on stream. If you caught me there, thank you so much for being there. We do some of these things on stream. Sometimes we do farms, we do gathering the mace, we do the netherite, Twitch TV/itsFernMC. It'll be really nice to have you guys there. But I did work on this automation system over here, and it's wonderful. I won't spend too much detail showing it off because next episode we'll actually be covering this up with a cool build. It's essentially a very simple sorting system. So how this works is that the wool flows over here. It's aligned with two pickles first. And if you notice that the two pickles actually have a hitbox, which leaves 1, 2, 3, 4 pixels. Like from here to there, right? And items are exactly 4 pixels wide. What this does is if these hoppers are overwhelmed, there's lots of wool coming in, then the wool is going to narrowly miss this cactus and it's going to flow by, circle a second time, but this time it will go forward and it'll get aligned with 3 sea pickles. 3 sea pickles actually are 1 pixel wider, so the item will be 2 pixels on the adjacent block, meaning that this time it'll have a second chance to get picked up by the hoppers, and if the hoppers really can't pick them up, then it's going to get destroyed on the cactus. Pretty neat overflow system, if you ask me. I also added a little side tangent, but I also added an overflow system to my farm for the melons and the pumpkins, and one for the mushrooms as well, because Toby was going crazy, and he actually put a sign here like, please add overflow protection to your farm. This is horrible. So there you go, Toby. I added them. Are you happy now? I should hope so. Oh, God, that scared me more than it should have. Anyways, yeah, I think that's going to be it for this episode. If you stuck around until now, I'm gonna die. If you stuck around until now, thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. And as a little reward, you can have this clip of me being bullied into building this wall. So, goodbye!
We want to be on your good side because you are the richest on the server.
Oh, okay. You don't want me on the bad side.
No, you're beautiful. As for you, Fern, maybe we'll charge you.
Actually, I do have some diamonds.
He's griefing.
If you do charge him, here you go. Here's some diamonds.
Oh, okay.
But
I like
you
this.
better charge him.
Okay, I will. We're gonna start moving towards getting rid of pop-up stores. Even though yours is a bit more than a pop-up store, it's still...
Can I was talking to Spaghetti yesterday, and he told me that he understands my... No, actually, because I changed something there, so you should come over, but because
Okay, I'll have a look.
I've built the farm recently, and I'm overflowing with wool. I want to be able to sell it before I build while I'm building the new shop. So I've set up this temporary thing, but it's gonna be gone very soon.
Ben, but do you
Okay,
have
cool.
Trust me.
Ben, do you
Are
have
you
a
planning on
permit?
building on one of the streets?
Do you have
Permit?
Yeah,
Yeah,
a
do you have
permit for your shop.
I need a permit.
Laurie, he does need a permit, right?
No, but you're building on the path, so I am gonna find you.
He does need a permit, Laurie, right?
This is on the path.
This is
does-
my path. This is my...
Laurie, he does need a
This
permit,
is,
right?
This is the path of the street.
You need...
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was just a random
need-
path.
You need a permit, man. Thank you. Come on. I can make you a permit.
He's getting bribed in front of my eyes.
What do you mean?
I can make you a permit.
I don't even have diamonds in my inventory. What are
need
you
a permit
talking about?
To build on the path, because this is footpath. This stone bit here. It's where people walk, And some people they're allergic to fabrics and they don't want to walk right through your shop.
Why would they even go this way? There's nothing this way. They're just gonna come here and buy my stuff and then leave. If they're allergic, they don't buy wool.
No, there's
They've got to
DIY.
cross to the other side of the
Look,
store,
if
and there's gonna be
DIY over there.
the road is busy, as you can see, and they might be ran over. So there needs to be nothing blocking the path.
Achoo! I'm clearly allergic.
Oh my gosh, health and safety. You're getting fined again for health and
No,
safety.
please no. I'm poor. I'm so poor.
I will leave a fine in your mailbox. We'll have somewhere you can drop it off. Sorry, SOA.
That's the rules, Fern.
Why are you on his side? Why? I thought I was gonna get supported.
Because he's
but no.
handsome and rich. I mean, he's handsome.
It's fun to see people suffer, Fern. Don't show him the diamond. The nice tip you got. Oh yeah. Hello, Fern.
Hi. So I'll give you 2 weeks to remove this and build an actual shop. Okay?
Can I build it here?
Yeah, you can build it here. This is your land, pretty much, but it's still pop up.
I'm like one word away from ruining Fern's whole career again.
What? What do you mean by that? It'll be gone in like a couple days. You trust me,
I've
right?
got my eye on you. Got my eye on you.
Yeah, some very big eyes that are looking at me.
Some nice eyes, okay? That's the Shop Owners Association. You talk to him with respect.
Very like.
Yeah, we need funding. We're struggling right now.
Roger Staggs the poor.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do.
Good.
Alright, 2 weeks. Or you're getting charged. I'm gonna charge you 5 blocks of diamonds if that isn't moved off the footpath in 2 weeks. Actually, I'm gonna make it 10 days. 2 weeks is too long.
I think 10 days is too long.
You've got 8 days.
Bye, Mr. Shop Owners Association man.
Why?